NFL players around the league voiced their concern of collusion surrounding Lamar Jackson's contract situation, and Stephen A. Smith is right there with them. But Adam Schefter provides a different perspective on what's going on with Lamar Jackson. What's up, y'all? It's your boy DSC, and today we're talking about the hottest topic in football right now, Lamar Jackson. People think there's just straight up collusion going on against him. Some people agree with that statement and others don't. Let's get right into it because there's a lot to cover today. As expected, one of the hottest topics coming into the offseason was Lamar Jackson's contract. And Lamar's rookie deal ended with the Baltimore Ravens. And like all top-tier quarterbacks, it's now time for him to receive a big payday. Well, maybe not for Lamar. The only problem is that both sides can't agree on a deal. There's been a bunch of rumors on what Lamar wants versus what the Ravens are willing to pay, but no one definitely knows other than the Ravens and Lamar's camp. The deadline to place the franchise tag was on Tuesday, March 7th. With both sides unwilling to come to an agreement, the Ravens placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. Now, the non-exclusive franchise tag is different from the normal franchise tag that we all know. First, Lamar won't be making as much. Under the normal franchise tag, Lamar would make about $45 million. Under the non-exclusive tag, he would only be making about $32 million. This tag would also allow other teams to speak with Lamar about signing, and if he receives an offer and accepts the offer, the Ravens can either match that deal and re-sign Lamar, or they can let him go to the new team and then receive 2 first-round picks instead, which is a win-win for the Ravens, but not so much for Lamar Jackson. The decision to use the tag was just really shocking to many people. Being a former MVP, an elite-level quarterback in their prime, why would the Ravens give other teams the opportunity to sign Lamar at a number that they're not willing to pay? And the wild thing is, multiple teams who have been in the market for quarterbacks have already stated just a day later they will not be pursuing Lamar Jackson. And this led many people to scratch their head wondering, if you're in need of a quarterback, why are you so quick to dismiss pursuing a former MVP in their prime? Many people around the league are calling this collusion against Lamar Jackson, and Stephen A. Smith is leading that charge.
The bottom line is this though, when we look at the non-exclusive franchise tag, it's built in collusion. We all know that most teams don't want to sign somebody to an offer sheet that they know could just turn around and be matched, because that might send the wrong message and discombobulate what they're trying to build culture-wise.
And players around the league agree with Stephen A. Several players take to Twitter to share their displeasure with the situation. And some of these players are Quandre Diggs, Robert Griffin III, Richard Sherman, and JJ Watt. It really is a very odd situation. And without knowing the entire situation, it makes a lot of sense to point at NFL owners saying they are colluding against Lamar in an attempt to stop fully guaranteed contracts. But there are many factors to the situation that people don't understand or aren't just thinking about. And Adam Schefter breaks it down.
Part of it is the fact that teams know that they feel like that they would just be drawing the offer sheet for the Baltimore Ravens. So if any one of these teams steps forward and says, let's give Lamar Jackson, you make it up, a 4-year, $200 million contract, fully guaranteed. Well, Baltimore could have the chance to write it. And there have been many free agents in the past that have been given a tag like this, or restricted free agent, where there's an offer sheet where other teams have balked at signing that player to an offer sheet because they don't want to do the work for another team. That's a part of this too. So we can come up with collusion, we come up with quarterbacks. Basically, the Ravens said, let them market, show what you're worth. You say you're worth all this money, fully guaranteed. If somebody's willing to pay you, then you'll have that, and we'll have the chance to match it. And if we don't want to match it, we can take 2 first-round draft picks. In my mind, this is a very simple solution to help try to solve a problem.
Also, another interesting tidbit is, one thing to remember with Lamar Jackson is that the NFL rules require guaranteed money to be placed in an escrow. Example, the Browns had to put $170 million in escrow when they signed Deshaun Watson. And many owners either A, don't have $200 million liquid, or B, don't want to set a bad precedent. Let's see what happens here, but this situation really does get worse by the day.